Hello, hello, hello. This is AmzyOBR with GUAP, and I'm from London, and my ethnicity is Somali. Wallahi, it is.
And what do you do?
I am a freelance photographer.
Cool. So, how did you first get into photography?
So, how I got into photography initially is by accident, to be honest. I actually wanted to be a YouTuber. So, I was out here like, Mom, I'm out here. I'm going to be on YouTube. I'm ready. I bought myself a vlogging camera and I went to my first ever concert, which was Drake. I don't even want to talk about how much I spent on a secondhand ticket just to go because his show was sold out. And I was like, I need something to kind of vlog. And then when I went there, my camera, along with taking videos, I didn't know it was taking pictures. And when I went home, I saw it and I was like, oh, this is quite interesting. I was like, I didn't think much of it, so I just posted it along with my videos on Instagram. And my friends was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I was like, oh, okay. And then it was the fan pages that were like, oh my God, this is so sick. And then I was like, oh. And then they reposted it and I was like, oh, this is pretty dope. And then I vlogged another concert, but I used the principle of doing videos and pictures. And then like it was Kaylani, I think the second concert, and she ended up liking one of the pictures and she reposted one of the videos. And then I dropped the videos because I had Window Movie Maker 2007. So I was just like, it was so hard. It was so hard. So I was just like, I'm just going to run with my pictures because I can edit on my phone. And I was editing on my phone without a laptop for a year and a half. People don't even know, like, the quality was exactly the same as, like, the photographers in the pit.
That's so crazy, man.
Yeah.
People would never guess that.
Yeah, they would.
But like, obviously, you have like quite a large audience right now. You're a role model to a lot of people. But like, from a personal point of view, what were some of the key moments in between when you first started and now that kind of helped propel you to where you are?
Okay, so some of the key moments was like, okay, for me, I was brought up like not in the creative world at all. Like that was not a part of, my upbringing. So like key moments was like, when I was posting up on Instagram, like people like Ticketmaster were hitting me up saying, "Can we use your pictures?" Bear in mind, I was had no clue in photography, and like people hitting me up, say, "Oh yeah, can you come to a show?" One moment, I promise you, that changed my life. I think was my first ever press pass after like so many months, like in the pit, like buying tickets using my student finance. Was Cardi B's concert, and I was okay. This is how mad it was, yeah, because I remember the reaction where it hit me. So when I was in the pit, I didn't think much of it, right? But because my camera was a vlogging camera, photographers were looking at me like, is that what you're shooting with? And I'm like, oh, like, yeah, not thinking much of it. And then there was just like, and I got a vibe like, oh, like, who, I even got asked like who got you into the pit? And yeah, so that kind of drove me to say, you know what, I'm going to show you guys, like, and predominantly in the pit was like all guys. I was the only girl. And yeah, like never knew it was like that. Like I didn't even know there was a name like for that type of photography, concert photographer. I thought the people at the front this whole time were paparazzi working for, Daily Mail, Evening Standard. I was like, oh my days, I'm out here, man, no way. And then when I left the concert, like people came up to me and they were like, I've never seen a hijabi female in a pit in my entire. It was crazy. People couldn't believe it. Like there were some people that were on stage looking at me saying, "You go, girl." I'm looking around like, oh, they're talking to the fans behind. Never saw it coming. Like I did, because I did it because like I actually have a passion. Like I like the drive and the moment, and like it makes me like really happy. But I've never thought like of like the outside of things and stuff. So yeah, that was quite interesting. I think after that concert, I'm just like, what does that even mean? Like what? Like you guys don't see this often. And then that's when the next concert I started seeing, rah, like this is an actual thing that's not common, and that's when it got to me, you know. Yeah.
So that kind of leads us nicely into like the last question, in terms of why do you feel like you're a future leader, and why is it important for you to kind of just continue being yourself, but showing people what you're doing? Like, why? But yeah, the main question is, why do you feel like you're a future leader?
The reason why I think I'm a future leader is because I am the first Muslim minority hijabi female to have been in the position that I am in today, and a lot of people look up to me, and I felt like for a long time a lot of people were scared. I was scared, like even to do YouTube. I was told no, like you're gonna embarrass yourself, it's against the religion, and there was like a lot of things, like and I had to show show everyone, like, no, like we can do it, like nothing's gonna stop us no matter what background we're from. Do you know what I mean? And like I just want people who look up to me, or like from the same background as me, like, yes, you can do it. Do you know what I mean? And you don't see it often, and I want it to be more often, and it means a lot to me. And even spreading positivity all the time on my Instagram is so important to me, because I don't feel like people put enough out of it. Do you know what I mean? And especially with the platforms that we have, I feel like people, should be putting out more positivity, especially like, because a lot of people are watching you, and I want people to know I have bad days, I'm going through it, or like what struggles I went through, or like how hard it takes to be where you need to be. Do you know what I mean? As a photographer, it's not easy. I have had obstacles that I had to overcome, and like no matter what background you're from, like keep pushing, because if you don't, then who will? Do you know what I mean? Like we have to break that we have to break the door down in order for other people to walk through without that much struggle. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I'm not gonna lie, at the beginning I took quite a lot of hit, like from the start. Like everyone was like, they couldn't believe it, like, do you know what I mean? Like yo, like how are you doing this? And I would have, if I could go back in time, I wouldn't have changed a thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm so happy now that people are more accepting, and that's what is, that's what's driven me to keep going and be able to, allow other people to, come up. Do you know what I mean? And I'll do whatever it takes, to take it to the next level and say, you know what? Yeah, the sky is the limit. I promise you. Yeah, nothing. Whatever you put your mind to, I promise you can do. And I'm gonna be a living proof of that. It's never like you're like I would have never believed in a billion years I'd be in like a room with a.k.a. taking pictures. Can you imagine? Yo, I used to listen. You know what I'm saying? Like like when you're a kid and you're just like, Mom. Like there's so many things out. Like never. I didn't even know how like what music video consisted of and stuff till now. Do you know? But we're not kind of brought up like that. But it's now time is shifting, so it's time for us to step up and not be afraid anymore. So that is my motto: not being afraid, and don't care about what anyone thinks. I actually don't let anything affect me. Like any comment, any like anything that anyone says that's like kind of put like that would put me down, promise you does not affect me one bit. Like my mind is programmed like to never be. Do you know what I mean? I'm so like, oh, you know what? Like, yeah, I just keep going, and it makes me happy as well. So it's one of those things where I'm doing it for myself. Do you know what I mean? I'm doing it for every single girl that's watching, and I get so many DMs from like young girls, like, oh, like I didn't know that I could, and like now you have given me confidence. They're able to show their parents, Mom, look, like there's this girl, she's a hijabi, she like she's covered, she's respectful, she doesn't do anything wrong, like I can do it. You know what I mean? And now parents are like, I get parents stopping me like, oh my god, like you're actually doing so, you know what I mean? But before it was never like that. Wow, what's your daughter doing? My mom's got so many of that, but my mom had my back. So if it wasn't for that, like she would tell them, listen, my daughter, like don't say anything about my daughter, you know, like she'll do what she needs to do. And now everyone's like, oh, you know, they'll come to the house, oh, we saw your daughter doing this, da, da, da. Do you know what I mean? But it's just like, what's not normal, you make it normal. Do you know what I mean? And that's with everything in life. Like, yeah.